What is going on, everybody? Today is a big day for Nick Sands Presents because I am sitting here with someone I've actually wanted to get on the podcast for a while. His name is Ben Hardy, and he is a filmmaker extraordinaire. He's a YouTuber. He is a sick dude who's doing a lot of cool shit while living in New York City. How are you doing today, Ben?
I'm doing good, Nick. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Did I get it right? Did I miss anything? Did I hit all the points that you are?
Yeah, I think you hit them right on the mark.
Why don't you give me like a 30 to 60 second origin story? How did you get into filmmaking, and what led you to where you are today?
Oh wow. Well, I feel lucky enough to have always known that I was going to go in the film industry. I don't know, since the day I was born, I just knew like that's what I wanted to do, and so it kind of spiraled into this thing where I was in my teenage years and I got in a little bit of trouble sneaking on set, and I didn't know how to break in besides doing that, and
literally breaking in.
right, yeah, and all it took was one person to take a chance on me, and I got my experience from there, then moved back to New York City, my home, and started making my own films. So,
who was the person that took a chance on you?
Her name was Lisa. I don't remember her last name, but she was a production assistant. And after security carried me out, she came out and she was like, "Kid, what the hell do you think you're doing? Why did you come on set today?" And I was just apologetic, and I guess she saw my enthusiasm, and it was history from there.
When you say you broke onto a set, can you go more into that? What set was it?
I can't say what set it was. Not allowed to say what set it was. I didn't even know much about it anyways, because I didn't have a script in my hands. I didn't have a schedule or anything like that. So most of the time I was there, I didn't even know what I was working on, which is definitely contributed to how I got caught, because I was asking all these stupid questions.
Oh, you broke in and you were working?
Yeah, I was just dude, I was just tunneling everywhere. I was sneaking by the dressing rooms or by lighting. I was just floating around, and people are like, "What is this kid doing? Who is this guy?"
And it was just about trying to get. How long were you able to do this for?
I got caught within a few hours, definitely.
I mean, that's still pretty impressive.
Yeah, I've done it before and not got caught.
Okay, so
yeah.
So this was a serial thing for you.
Yeah, it was a few times for sure.
And then, so you got that experience, and what was, after you got caught, what was it that they did that allowed you to get the experience you needed on set?
So she just gave me some more information. She allowed me to work on one for the next day. She gave me a schedule actually, and she was like, "Here's your badge. Come back here at 6 a.m. and we can actually get you going." But what really changed things is I joined this talent agency called CGTV, and also I had a girlfriend who was in the film industry at the time, and both of those things really helped me actually.
Did you date a girl in the film industry just to get into the film industry?
No, actually, no. She just. We ended up just talking, and then I realized afterwards that she was actually an actress. So. Oh,
okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so you got your experience. You came back to New York, and now you're making films, your own films. Are you working in the larger film industry, or is this just you and your camera kind of thing?
Yeah. So I've worked with Hulu, I've worked with CBS, Netflix, Paramount. But I enjoy making my own stuff. So I actually have my camera right here. It's my Sony FX30. It's a brand new one, highly cinematic. That's what I'm focused on right now, is kind of my media company, Ben Hardy HQ, LLC, and just making films from those. I want to be one of the greatest filmmakers to come from our generation, blending content creation and cinema together.
Well, I think our generation. I'm 37. I think you're two generations below me. So I think I'm pretty much done. I think you're really the hardest, to be honest.
No, I wouldn't have been able to tell.
I appreciate the compliment.
I mean, yeah, you look good. I mean, wouldn't have been able to tell.
I get that. I get that a lot. I get that a lot. So what is it that drives you to be like that? Because that's a bold claim. Like, what makes you feel like that you're going to be able to live up to that?
Honestly, I don't even feel like I'm gonna live up to it. I just kind of know. But you know what? Even to say, going back to what I said, being one of the greatest filmmakers, it's a very fickle kind of dream. You know, like in reality, what I do want to do, the main goal is just to inspire the world. That, at the end of the day, is really my dream, to inspire as many people as I can. And I think as long as I stay focused on that being my mission, I will come to, being a great. I think if you keep it too narrow or keep it to your goal, self-absorbed, it becomes hollow. It becomes a very hollow dream. But if you keep it surrounded by people and love and expression, inspiration, I think that gives it more weight and juice.
Did you grow up in New York?
Yeah, I did grow up in New York. I moved to the West Coast, though, for a while.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying I moved to the West Coast for a while.
God, yeah, no, I remember that part.
Yeah.
Growing up in New York, do you feel like it kind of gives you that sense of like there's a culture? I mean, New York is a cultural hub, right? It's like sets the tone for a lot of the world as far as like fashion, design, art, film, music. Like, do you feel that there's something in the water there that does that? Is it just the people? Like, what is it about New York that creates that?
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I feel like I'm a dreamer because New York made me a dreamer. And I've watched so many people, my dad, family, people build what they have here, build what they want here. And I mean, that's really what this city is made for the people who want to go out there and get what they want. You can get it here. You can build it yourself here. And growing up in a city like this, I was inspired by music. I was inspired by cinema, by just art, creation, entertainment in general. It definitely was a part of my DNA.
So
sure.
last night, you guys just had a pretty big election, right? We're having this conversation right after the election. As an artist, as a filmmaker, you are kind of. I mean, I think everybody would agree that was like a pivotal moment, right? Whether or not you agree with the victory, whether or not you agree with whatever candidate, I don't think anyone would say it's not a big deal. How do you look at that through the artistic lens, and do you plan on doing anything with that, with what's going on?
That's a great question. I will say I'm very happy with how the election went. I think New York City needs change. I feel like we've been in a stagnant position for quite a long time, and I'm okay with somebody coming in and breaking all the rules. Especially, like you said, for people who are creative and filmmakers. I mean, it's been a struggle to chase your dreams in New York. It hasn't been the same New York for sure. It's been super expensive. I mean, the train system is a mess. I mean, dude, I can leave an hour and a half early. 2 hours early I left my house one time, and I still arrived late because of the MTA system. Still arrived late. Like, I think that it'll be good not only for the community, for New Yorkers, but yes, for creators, for people who are trying to, be on the come up and live here and start from the ground up. They need that support,
What is it about the train system that made it like so ineffective? Like, what is it? I've been to New York. I've never been on the subway. So can you tell me a little bit about the subway system?
You know what, Nick? I would love to know the reason why my train was late as well. It's dude, every day it's a new problem. Like there's maintenance, or this one is randomly shut down, or dude, crazy stuff. Like sometimes people pass away or get pushed in the tracks, and crazy.
Does that happen a lot?
Honestly, it's been happening. It happens quite recently.
Fuck.
Pretty recently. It happens quite often.
That's actually wild. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, people got to be careful, for sure.
That's fucking. Wow, we just really brought this down. Let's see if we can bring it back up.
sorry. It's crazy.
You talk about merging sort of like old media and YouTube together. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because I think for like, my generation, we were talking about, I'm a little bit older than you. That was sort of just merging, right? We still had like a strong sense of like the traditional media that maybe you guys don't have as much, especially, being like we were saying, kind of in a cultural hub. Do you think that that's sort of the future? Is that like where we're going? And how do you think that's going to play out long term?
You know what? It 100% is the future. That's why I kind of stepped away from doing commercial film. Also, I mean, just to go back to that, like, I wanted to make my own stuff because for the rest of my life, I didn't want to just be making a piece of somebody else's big puzzle. I wanted to make my own things that have my name on it. But also, many of my mentors are big YouTubers that I know, big content creators, filmmakers that I know. I think in general, the consensus is that really great filmmaking, really great anything, art to music, anything in general, is coming through the internet. And there's kind of this rivalry between, old traditional media and independent media that people are making. I mean, you look at someone like Mr. Beast, and this dude has completely made everything his own way. All this money from content creation, he's funneling into his own production. He had the biggest studio in Mr. Beast games, bigger than any Hollywood studio ever. That's huge.
I think people still don't, even though Mr. Beast, even though knowing he's such a sensation, knowing how big he is, I feel like people still don't appreciate how many views that he gets. Like, right. Every video gets more views than the Super Bowl.
Right, than the Super Bowl.
So he's getting every, I think he puts out one video every 2 weeks now. So every 2 weeks he's having more people watch his video than will watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah, literally.
Which is just fucking mind-boggling to think about that.
It's insane. I mean, you even look at these like live streamers like Kai Cenat or Aiden Ross or these huge names in the industry, the FaZe guys. They're pulling numbers on a stream, on a live stream, which is crazy. They have their own program in a sense, where millions of people, thousands of people are watching this, and they're doing whatever they want on this stream because they have the budget.
I know it's, I feel like I bring up Jackass like a weird amount. I think about them all the time because like they were like my. I wouldn't even say my heroes. They were like, it was like my big brother's friends. You know what I mean? Growing up, yeah. It's like they were just kind of always around. But even Bam talks about he had like $3 million budget per episode when he was doing Viva La Bam, and they just had to spend that. They just had to figure out ways to spend it. So they could do anything. There was nothing that was off limits for them to do, and they lived that out. The sort of money that's injected into the content system, and you and me both know as content creators, like we're everything there. We're like we get all the money, but we also handle all of the outgoing funds. So it's a huge upside, but there's a lot of risk to it too. I mean, I've been doing this now for 3 years. I call myself a working class creator because I'm not making Mr. Beast money, but I'm making enough to survive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's this weird sort of like lifestyle. You know what I mean? Where you're constantly reaching out to people and getting people on your show and talking to people and meeting new people. And it's all of this work up front that you're hoping eventually kind of pays off in the back end, right? And one of the things that I really like about you in your sort of style of filmmaking is that it's very true to you, and it's also very different from what we're seeing today, I think. I know you've talked a little bit about Casey Neistat and his sort of effect on you. I would be very interested to hear you talk about that, because he was a big influence on me too, as a creator and as a sort of a model for how you could live a life that was based in creativity.
Dude, wow, you put it perfectly, dude. Wow, he literally is. No, wait, how long have you been watching him for?
Pretty much since he started.
Dude, yeah.
I mean, I remember when I didn't watch his first probably like 10 vlogs, but I remember all of that, like when he became Man of the Year. Like, I've been watching him forever.
Dude,
he's one of the few like early YouTubers that I still watch today.
Seriously, and that's the thing. Like, Casey is one of the original. He is like the original vlogger, and I don't think he gets enough credit even to this day of how much he shaped the future of YouTube, documentary cinema. I mean, he really shaped the way people are able to tell their lives in a cinematic way. And he did it every single day. That was like shocking to me. When I first came across the Casey Neistat video, I was like, oh my god, how old was I? Maybe like 10, 11 years old, maybe, I don't know. Somewhere around that. And I just remember seeing him like with his skateboard and with his camera, his glasses, going around the city doing whatever he wanted and telling a little story, no matter how big or how small. He always found a way to tell a story in his everyday life. And I thought that was so cool. I thought it was so inspirational. His angles, his shots, he'll do anything for the shot. And he also he is New York. He has that New York grit. He shows that New York lifestyle authentically. And there was something I found so fascinating about that, and it really shaped the way I share my life and my lifestyle and how I go about storytelling.
There was definitely because before that there was vlogging kind of, but not really, not in the way that he did. It wasn't cinematic. It was a lot of like sort of jumbled clips of like no transitions, no like the time lapse thing. He really kind of turned into a thing that wasn't a thing before. I remember watching a interview with him where he just talked about how like Thursdays was time lapse day, and he would just drive around, like he would just skateboard around, and that was just like the day he recorded like fucking 70 time lapses so that he could use them later on. Just
use all that B-roll, just have it ready. Yeah,
it's just like, when you look at that, and have you ever tried to do a daily vlogging challenge?
I do it on my Instagram.
It's so fucking hard to do.
It's so hard. Especially, like, maybe if I used Casey's cameras, it would be a little bit easier. Because I actually used to shoot on Casey's cameras. Canon 70, 80, and 90D. Those were the cameras he used, so I always used them. But now I feel like we're in a new age where it's even more cinematic now, so that's why I switched to Sony. But man, the files and the power like makes the editing process way longer, especially on my laptop. So
my biggest regret is changing to fucking Sony. I hate Sony. I fucking hate them so much.
I actually I love it for cinema, but damn, it makes the editing process a lot longer, and color grading.
So you shoot everything on a what is it? A Sony Mark
FX30.
Oh wow, okay. So you're like real deal, dude. I fucking recently, well, not recently, probably like 2 years ago now. I got the Osmo Pocket 3.
Yeah.
This is the greatest camera I've ever used in my fucking life.
So portable, so cinematic, great color grading.
It's unbelievable. So I started off. I'm getting an echo in my headphones, so I hope that it doesn't destroy this audio, but we're just gonna push through. When I first started editing, or when I first started shooting video, I was in high school, so fucking long ass time ago, and we used to shoot on the GL2s. That was like the camera, and I used to take the camera, and I started off making skateboarding videos with my friends and shit, and then like just like
Very
dumb
cool.
little videos or whatever.
But you skateboard?
And I gave it up. I used to. I don't anymore.
Oh, cool.
I was never really. I say that very loosely. I was not a good skateboarder. I wasn't like. I just like to roll around on it. But I boxed. I boxed for like 15, 17 years, something like that. And so I could never risk damaging my hands. Like I was boxing at a pretty high level, so I could never risk falling and breaking my hands. So I never did anything cool. I mostly just like rolled around. I'd drop in on ramps, and that was pretty much the extent of it. I could ollie pretty good, that kind of thing, but I was never like a good skateboarder. But I shot and recorded my friends who were good skateboarders, and that's how I first got into making movies.
Oh yeah, that's very awesome. My friend.
And then
sorry.
Go ahead.
My friend Monty, that's how he actually started out, was making skateboard videos as well.
It was especially like early 2000s, late 90s, it was really the best entry because it was before YouTube. But it was kind of like the same culture as YouTube or became. I feel weird speaking to YouTube now because I don't really, even though I have like my own little channel and I do my own little thing, it's not like, I don't feel like I'm some sort of fucking cultural, I don't feel like I'm tapped into the culture in the same way that I could be. But anyways, it's fucking.
No, I think you should still talk to YouTube. I think you're pretty tapped into the culture.
I gave up filmmaking for like 15 years. I went and got a real job because YouTube wasn't an option for me. And so like one of the things that I really love about what you do is that like it does feel like the things that you were doing feels like what I would have continued to do when I was young. And so it's really cool to see you sort of move through that. I think it's cool.
Thank you.
I don't really know where I was going with that.
No, I appreciate that. I think what you're doing is really cool too. Like you're bringing on all these different creatives and people and just letting them spill their minds a little bit, onto this. I think more creatives need to do that. Or have an outlet or a person to just chat about creativity about.
How long have you been making a living as a creative?
Oh, I honestly only recently started making like good money from this. A lot of people also mistake, like, you don't need guys, whoever's watching this, you don't need a huge platform or the millions of followers to make money. If you can network and provide value with your camera is already valuable. So if you can bring your business, bring yourself somewhere where it needs to be captured, you can make money. But I was doing a lot of this stuff for free for a long time.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
It was a nightmare. It was a struggle. Like, sometimes it still is. Like, having to having to navigate a world of capitalism that is trying to box your creativity is very difficult. It's very difficult.
A lot of times you do feel like you're balancing that. I've been very lucky. I've just been very picky about who I work with and like the direction that I allow things to get taken in. I don't really work with people who are gonna criticize me, I guess, to be honest. Like when I present a final product, it's generally that's just what the final product is. I don't really leave a lot of room for people to give me options outside of that, I guess. Like I kind of tell them what they're going to get in the beginning, and then I deliver that thing.
Right.
So I reduce a lot of like their input on the backside, which I think has been very helpful. But what you were saying about your camera being valuable is super important for anyone who's in a creative sort of space to be. And networking is really like the number one thing. I've done almost zero actual marketing for my business. All of my businesses come from like making stupid videos online,
No, they're not stupid.
Well, you know what I mean, though. Like they're not serious cinema. I go places and I meet people, and that's where the work comes from. It very rarely ever have I posted like an ad, a real ad, gotten work from it. It's almost always just like word of mouth, kind of through social media that I've been able to make my living.
Honestly, I think it's better that way because like when you when you succumb to like monetizing yourself or like commercializing yourself, it becomes like inauthentic in a way, and then you don't get really people who you're actually going to connect with or this and that. Like, I feel like the way you're doing it by just reaching to people you actually feel like are driven or that you can actually create a cool relationship with, that's way better. It's way stronger, makes the content better. I don't know. You know what I mean?
You put out some very beautiful videos about Fashion Week.
Oh, yeah.
What was it that brought you to that situation? Like, how did you find yourself shooting that? How did you make that happen? And then also, how did you deliver on the things that you promised in a way that made them happy, I guess?
Oh, well, you know what? I know a lot of models. I know a lot of ladies in fashion. Specifically, one of my good friends, Sarah Okel. Shout out to her. She's awesome. She had me tag along with her for quite a few fashion events and a lot of other people as well. I mean, I try to not limit the amount of paint that I can put on my canvas. You know, whether it be the fashion industry or the music industry, commercials, or, you know, whatever it is, clothing brands. I want to be a part of it all. And they all need a camera, you know. So I kind of seep into all these other worlds. And for Fashion Week, I mean, I got invited. I was a VIP guest to these shows, and I shot, delivered, color graded, whatever they needed. It was a lot of work, I will say. Fashion Week is absolutely crazy. People think it's just runways and models. No, there's so much post and pre-production work that goes into it. So much.
Well, I think, you know, the camera, what the camera is an extension of you and your viewpoint, right? So, like, wherever you point your camera and, like, wherever I put my camera, that's viewing the world through our perception. And so there's always the opportunity. I don't know shit about fishing, but if I take my camera and I go out, I can show the world what fishing is through my lens and through my perspective. And that is the power of the camera. It's not so much the ability for me to tell someone else's story. The real power of the camera comes when you can see, sort of perceive reality through my own intention, the things that I find important.
Right.
We gave my son a camera for Christmas a couple years ago, and it's really unbelievable the things that, like, you can see the things that he found important in the pictures that he took. Like things that were not stuff you would view, or like everything from his angle, because he's shorter, is different. The way he would frame stuff completely naturally was very cool. He took a lot of really beautiful photos that I would not have been able to take, and it was interesting to see the world, like, from the way that he viewed it and the things that he thought were beautiful and worth remembering. And I thought that was really an interesting experiment for a kid.
No, definitely. That's so awesome. I didn't even know you had a son. I'm glad he's
I got
like.
two. I got a son and a daughter.
Oh, cool! You have 2 kids. Awesome. I think it's awesome that he's finding his, like, artistic voice through the lens. I mean, I would argue, like, that's why maybe sometimes I end up in these spaces, because I mean, a lot of these people, especially for Fashion Week, they've been doing this for years. These photographers, they're well seasoned, and they're really only fashion. So that's all they're about. Like, they have done this for such a long time. But me, I'm more of the outsider. I have a different taste, a different flavor, and I think they enjoy having a different set of eyes, a new voice to capture it in maybe a different way. You know, that's fresh.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm like a dumb hillbilly, so a lot of the times I end up in these weird places that, like, I shouldn't be. Like, nobody, like, the fact that I end up going to some of these parties or whatever that I'm able to capture is sort of a flies in the face of God and His creation. You know what I mean? And the fact that I'm able to do that and show these places, and what I've found is that a lot of times you go to these places, you feel like you're not supposed to be there, and then you get there and you're like, oh, never, like, all these people are just fucking normal, I guess. Like, they're not really, like, it's not what you expect it to be. Is that your kind of experience in going into these kinds of situations?
In some ways, yeah. I mean, I've had situations where I've been terrified to meet somebody, and they were so chill and humble, and and at the end of the day, everybody's just a normal person, and I try to just, I don't go in with any expectations, no matter how many followers, who they are. I treat them like a normal person. I'm ready to just be myself and have a conversation with you. And I mean, there's times I've met people. They live up to what they are, their talents, their charisma, their level of skill, and respect for their craft. And I love when that happens. Because that for me, that's the chance to learn. There's other situations where I've met them and I've been like super. I guess I felt a lot of pressure, and I'm like, this guy isn't even that smart, or like he's not even.
Dude, that's the worst. That's the worst is when you think like you're talking to some guy and this happens to me. This has happened to me quite a few times where like I'm talking to some guy and I know that he's like fucking rich.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this dude is a dumbass. Like he was like, I don't know how the fuck this happened, but like if he got to this point. And a lot of times it's like some nepotism shit, but it's like, it's like, man, these people really aren't better than us.
Yeah.
It's like these people really are just like dumbasses who kind of stumbled into this a lot of the times.
Dude, no, definitely, and like that, people always like tell me like, I always get like questions, man, how do you even do this? Like, people are at this level, like I'd be too scared to even throw myself out there, do this, and it's like, dude. First of all, for these people that you do put on a pedestal and are cool, yeah, some of them are going to be really cool and really talented. And a lot of them are going to be better than you, which is not a bad thing. Because, again, like I said, you can learn. But there's also a lot of these people who really, they don't even take it that seriously. It was just more thrown in their lap or given to them. And they just have something you don't. It's not always that they're smarter than you or this or that. Either something maybe have been given to them or somehow they attained success, right? They don't always have to be a creative genius or anything. Sometimes they just got it. But if you really do have that talent, that passion, at some point you're bound to succeed that person or who was more fortunate than you or whatever. Because it's not about that. It's about you and your drive. More often than not, you can find yourself in a room with these people as long as you feel like you are already one of them.
Right. Well, I think that's one of the things about owning a business that I discovered is that, like, especially when you first start your business, there's not enough work to fill out a 40-hour week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was working 60 hours a week at a regular job before I left that and started doing this full time. And I was like, well, if I'm willing to put in 60 hours a week there, then like I need to put in 60 hours a week doing what I'm doing. Even if the work's not there, even if it's just jobs for myself, you know what I mean? Even if I'm just doing the work for me, I need to make sure that like I'm putting in at least that many hours. Because what I found, at least for me, because I didn't have a lot of direction when I started. And so what I did was I just worked a lot. And I knew eventually that work would lead to something. What that was or, what it was going to become, I didn't necessarily know. But I knew that if I just sort of worked really hard and kicked up a lot of dust, eventually some of that dust would, be gold. And I'd be able to work on that and keep pushing forward. I mean, there were times when I was not working at all and I would just be like, all right, well, today I'm going to go out downtown in the city, and I'm just going to shoot B-roll clips. I'm just going to shoot. I'm going to take pictures. I'm going to do like these other things that are not necessarily like work, but it's work adjacent, and it's going to help me in some way get to the next level. I don't exactly know how it's going to work or what's going to happen, but I know that if I just keep moving, that eventually I'm going to get to a place where I need to be.
Yeah.
Is that your experience? Or do you think that like how did you get to that?
I mean, first of all, awesome mindset. I kudos to you for choosing that mindset. That's definitely how it is for me. I mean, a lot of people work really hard. I believe in hard work. I don't believe in being a lazy ass. Everyone in my life knows that. All my friends know that. I come to work hard. And there's other people who have really great work ethic, but they are working for something that inevitably in the long run isn't fulfilling to them or what they actually want to do. And that's what I've always kind of rebelled against. It's like, well, if you're going to work this hard, if you're going to work your life, your soul away, it might as well be something that you feel in your heart that you want, that you desire. I mean, right? Even if, you got to go those days like you and I did, with no money, not having any connections, not knowing what we're going to do. If you work towards a dream that you truly want and have your heart, at some point you're going to get it. Get something, at least more and more pieces of it, right? I mean...
Right. It's like you only... The way I always looked at it was like, if I can just move the needle like 1% every day, after 100 days, I'm in a whole other place than I was.
Exactly.
If I can do that again and again and again and again, eventually that momentum's going to build. I'm going to get to this next level. Eventually I will become, undeniable in the fact that I'm here and like I'm doing this thing.
Yeah. And I commend you for that as well, because another problem people will tend to have is just thinking about the end goal all the time, from 0 to 100. You got to think about every day, 1% at a time. Slow motion is better than no motion.
And I think I think there's a negative side to that too. I actually like that saying, slow motion is no motion. I like that. But I think there's another side to that too, where like a lot of times, if you are working a normal shitty job, it's fucking hard to go home and be like, I'm gonna go do this other thing. You know what I mean? Like, that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I totally get that. And so like, there are people who work way fucking harder than I do at way shittier jobs, and I totally understand why you wouldn't be able to go home and fucking chase your dreams. Like, I totally fucking get that.
Yeah.
I was very lucky in a lot of ways, and that wasn't a limiting factor for me. But I do think that there is like the flip side of that, where it's not always as simple and easy as like just work harder. Like, sometimes there is absolutely like luck and skill, and you need to know kind of when you need to shoot your shot, and you need to when the top, like, there's always going to be opportunities flying at you, and you need to be prepared to grab those opportunities when you see them, I guess, is kind of what I'm getting at. And sometimes you just can't be, because you're just... But that's okay, because there's always going to be more opportunities coming down the road. Like, so if you notice you missed this one or that one, that's cool, because you got another one coming that you don't even realize is going to be an opportunity.
Oh yeah, definitely. Being able to choose what opportunities you take on it is also a fundamental skill. Like, some people will just take everything. That's a problem. You can't be desperate. Many things are going to come at you. To gain abundance, you have to already feel abundant. So when things are coming, you have to see what you align with and what you really want to give your energy to. But also, you got to have the urgency. Michael Jordan says it's better to shoot the shot and miss than to let the clock run down and wonder what if.
Right.
I'll never wonder what if. I will, if I do let something go, I chose to let it pass by me. Because better things are on the way.
Right. There's always more shit.
There's always more.
People always need a fucking video, and if they don't, like, you always have a story to tell. There's always more story to tell. A lot of times I feel like it's the opposite, where like once you become successful, now that's the end of your story, and then like it's a slow decline, a slow death, because you have no more input. Like, the story that is interesting to most people is one of struggle, is one of nobody wants to hear the story of the guy who was fucking successful immediately and then everything went great. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta have triumph. Triumph is awesome.
You gotta have that backslide first. You gotta have shit, and then you gotta fucking come back from that.
Yeah, it is a privilege to be an underdog. It is a privilege to suffer.
For sure. I mean, again, to some extent.
I mean, yeah, honestly, no. I think to any extent, it is a privilege. Okay. Maybe,
you know what I mean? It's a privilege for us to suffer, because we're just like, we like have all our arms.
Even in life,
we're in the U.S.
But I mean, say I didn't have my arms, I would say you know, my father, he served in Iraq, and you know, he got very lucky to still have all his arms and legs. You know, a lot of his friends and people he knew didn't. But you know what? Even, you know, those people who are missing parts of their body, even for them, I've noticed they have an outlook where that suffering became a blessing in a sense, because they learn to appreciate more. You know, they may not have their hands, but they still got their legs and feet, and they're going to use what they have. I think when we're in a situation where we have to suffer, things are taken away from us, it forces us to appreciate not only what we have, but make the best out of it. You know? And I have been beat down to the ground. I mean, like, things that have happened in my life, if none of that happened to me, I would not dare be where I am right now. That suffering molded me and shaped me. And to this day, it's still the inspiration of why I do what I do.
When you see yourself in the future, what do you see?
For my future, I see millions of followers. I see me making music. I'm actually a musician as well. I was a musician way before I was a filmmaker. I see big.
What's your music?
I haven't released any of it yet, but
Okay.
I make all kinds of music. Sometimes I'll even like produce for like a rapper or send him a beat. You know, I love to make beats. But I see my friends and my people, because that's what I really want. I pray that my success feeds more mouths than just my own. You know, there's very much people I want to bring up with me. I mean, look at Adam Sandler. That dude brought up all his friends with him. He made his own, you know, production company. You know, every movie he makes, he knows that his friends are going to have roles, because he's going to make damn sure that they get paid and they get put in that movie. I'm going to make sure all my friends are in my movies too. You know?
Well, I think that's something actually that I've noticed in a lot of the creator. And also, I'm speaking as a 37-year-old who's fucking tired and like is willing to fucking let off some of the work. But you know, a lot of the people who are not getting to where they want to be aren't open to bringing other people with them. A lot of times it's crabs in a bucket, you know, where one crab starts going up and the other ones reach up and pull them back down, because a lot of people don't want to see you succeed. They want you to be there with them and not move up, because they want to move up. And I think that the ability to work together is really, if you're a human being, like, we are social creatures, like our entire civilization, everything that a human has ever done has always been built with more than one person. The idea of having a community of people who works together and then everybody prospers, that's like the dream. There is, especially in our kind of community, excuse me, whoa, big, huge burp. In the creative space, or just let's look at podcasting, for example, like he's unpopular right now, and like his whole group is unpopular right now, but the Rogan sort of sphere of influence.
I
right?
love
There's,
Rogan.
like,
I love Rogan.
he brought himself up, and he also brought up like 20 other people. You know what I mean? Like, that's, whether or not you like Joe Rogan is irrelevant, because what he did was very cool in my opinion. I have my issues with him, and I have my other whatever. I think he gets probably more heat than he fucking deserves most of the time, but what he did was he brought all his friends along with him, and not only that, his friends made it so that it was possible for him to go up, because when you're interviewing people, you have to have someone who sits across the table. And so having those interesting people that could come and talk to him and then go on and make their own podcast, et cetera, like, that's why he is successful. He's not successful because he sat down in front of a microphone. He's successful because he depended upon 20, 30, 40, 50, 150 other people to be just as interesting as him, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean...
And that's sort of where, especially in comedy, I see that being a problem, where it's a lot of times it's like people don't want to work together. People don't want to like do the other things outside of comedy that lead to success in comedy. And so what you're going to find is that you just will never be able to move beyond that space if you aren't willing to sort of do that, share the spotlight, share the wealth, and just share everything.
Yeah, I mean, which is such a lame mindset. It's so lame because everything needs collaboration. You cannot do it alone. Now, is there sometimes you got to go alone? All right, sure. But that saying that they say, if you want to go fast, run alone. If you want to go far, run together. It is very true. It is very true. You need to have external outputs, different funnels of creativity, different voices and rhythms and taste, different flavor to come in and really make a dish good. Like you really make your art good. I strongly believe that. And it just makes it more fun too, It makes it more fun. Like I don't want to be sitting at a table alone eating my own food for the rest of my life alone. No, I want to have people around me to enjoy that meal with. It'll taste so much better. It'll taste so much better, I mean, it's really sad that some people get selfish, and us as ourselves as creators, we got to be mindful of that too. Sometimes it's a battle with our own hearts or our own egos. Like, this is my shit. I want to shine. Nah, sometimes it's okay to let somebody else shine.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Or help.
Let those,
yeah.
We only make 5-minute long videos. Someone, like, after that 5 minutes is done, I hope you go fucking watch. I'd rather people go watch you than fucking someone else. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to fucking succeed, because the way I see it is, like, if you succeed, it makes it easier for me to succeed, because I have, like, now we have this video. People are like, oh shit, did you see that Ben Hardy fucking video that was so fucking sick, and now he's a fucking billionaire? I wonder what it's like. Fucking, I wonder what's going on in his head. I wish there was an interview with him. Oh fuck, here's one. So it's like, it only works out that the bigger, like, the bigger someone gets, like, the bigger all of the people around them, the more successful everybody gets to be. And I think that's how that's kind of the mindset I've always had, and I've always tried to think that way. Which is also kind of weird, because we're also, I don't know about you, but I'm a fucking attention whore, and that's why I fucking make movies, because I fucking like being on camera. I like people paying attention to me. And so it is kind of a weird dichotomy that I have, where, like, I do want all the attention on me, but I also want all my friends to shine too when it's their turn, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
I'm curious a little bit about your creative process, because your videos are your let's talk about your 2024 wrap-up video. Was really, really well done. I really, really enjoyed it. Like a lot. That was the first video I saw of yours. And
wow, that's the first one.
Yeah, I reached out right after watching it. I went and hunted you down on Instagram to talk to you. Because I thought it was just so well done and so interesting and so cool. And I'm curious, how does your process go? And how do you kind of get from, like, concept to final product? Like, what's that process look like?
So this is, honestly, my process is a little bit disorganized sometimes. It really can be kind of crazy. Brother. But in a way simplistic. I mean, I have a condition called synesthesia, where I can hyper visualize sound, frequency, wavelength. Like, I see it all in geometrical pattern and in imagery as well. So anytime I make a movie, I need to figure out the music first thing. That's the first thing I do. Because if I know the soundtrack of the movie and I listen to it, I can hear every shot, or I can see every shot. I can see every cut at every beat. I can see and hear the rhythm. I know everything beginning to end if I know the music. So, in regards to, like, a lot of filmmakers, they go about, like, storyboarding, which I do. I do storyboard as well. I do that. I mean, like, I honestly, like, I don't do it too much, but if I really need to remember the shot I have in my head, I'll listen to the song over and over again, and then I'll, like, maybe draw out a simple image I have in my head. But most of the time, I don't even need that. I just listen to the song. I'll even listen to it on set, and I'll get the shot I need. The shot I see in my head translates straight to the camera, and then straight in the edit too, because I can edit to the music, I can edit to the sound.
So when you want to make a movie, do you be like, okay, I need to go listen to some music and then I'll get an inspiration, or do you already have an idea going into finding the music?
Sometimes it's a mix of both. So there's some movies like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna write this story. Oh, I have this story in my head now. Okay, how am I gonna put it together? And then I'll listen. I'm like, what is the music that will fit this film? And then I find that, and then that makes it. Or sometimes, vice versa, I'll be listening to music, listen to a song, and boom, I'll get the full film inspiration from the music itself. So sometimes it's both.
Your most recent video was you dancing all over New York.
That wasn't me. That was my friend Mozzie.
Oh well, I mean, like you were recording.
Yeah.
Your video is someone dancing all over New York.
Yeah.
So where did that, like, how did that, was that a music first situation? Was that a concept idea first?
Actually, that was definitely music. That video was actually, the idea was like straight up stolen from a TikTok that I saw, because there's this movie called Demolition with Jake Gyllenhaal, and where he does the exact same dances, and I really like that movie. And there was kind of this trend with that song that I use, where people were just editing him dancing to that song. But then I was like, dude, I haven't seen anybody like recreate it with their own cinematic version. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna recreate it scene by scene with my own shots. And that's what I did. And it went mega viral, which was awesome.
I didn't realize that was a Jake Gyllenhaal thing. I thought that was just a you thing. So that's very cool. So the song and everything was the song from the movie then?
It wasn't the song from the movie, but it was a song that the people used in the TikTok edit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so that's actually sick, dude. I didn't realize that. So my question was actually way more lame than that. My question was, what was it? Do you and your actors ever have a hard time like going out and getting these fucking weird shots in the middle of New York where there's all the 10 million people watching? So do they? Is that ever hard for you?
Honestly, no. No, we don't give a damn. And honestly, more often than not, New Yorkers just let us do our thing. They don't give a shit. Like, they're not, people, for the most part, people mind their business. And if they're young like us and ambitious, more often than not, they want to be a part of it. So, which is why I like New York too. Like, people are very cool about stuff like that.
In New Hampshire, when you have a camera, you're immediately like, everybody's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, I want to come talk for a minute. And I'm like, no, we're recording.
We're recording.
Or you have the opposite problem where people will just walk right between you and their, like, whatever you're shooting. Literally, probably the number one problem I have is that people just completely oblivious to the fact there's a camera there and walking between them. Always very apologetic. But yeah, almost for some reason it's like there's a blind spot. I don't know if it's because that doesn't happen a lot in New Hampshire or what, but it's like people cannot see that there's a camera there.
Dude,
which is very strange. I don't know.
Dude, a lot of people do that in New York a lot. And whenever that happens, me and my friends, whoever's behind the camera, we just look at them like this as they walk by. And we wait for them to know. Sometimes they know the camera's in, and they'll still walk right in front of them. We're like, you had all this space behind that you couldn't just, like, come on.
That's okay. Sometimes you can work that shit in so that it adds a level of excitement.
That's true as well. Sometimes it's good.
There was one shot in that video that you just did where like you hear people laughing, and I was curious if they were laughing at you guys or if that was just like a happy accident.
Yeah, some of them were laughing like just along, or like I wouldn't say at us. I would say the laughs were a little more positive. Like, oh yeah, he's vibing. Like, people started dancing with him. Like, there's a shot in there, the construction worker starts getting jiggy with him. That was cool. Yeah, I did actually put those sounds purposely to, like, even if it was negative, it does not matter, because he's in his own world with his music. He doesn't care about the external validation. He's just enjoying himself. So I'm glad you caught that on. Yeah, he was. Yeah, I made sure like he listened to certain parts of the song so I could sync the body movements.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's always such a pain in the ass. I fucking hate People do not appreciate how much work goes into syncing fucking video with audio.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it sucks so bad.
It's a pain. It's crazy.
When you are preparing to like go out and shoot, how much of a concept do you generally have? Are you like running and gunning? Do you like have areas in mind that you want to work in? Like, how are you doing that, especially where you are just kind of like a TikTok, YouTube guy? So you're not, I'm assuming you're not pulling permits and shit.
Oh, no, I don't have permits. At least when it's my own stuff, definitely not. Sometimes I'm just running and gunning. Sometimes I have no clue what I'm going to shoot. No clue, no plan, but I'm just going to go out, I'm going to shoot. Sometimes I have it very detailed, very planned. I know exactly where I'm going to go. I know what shots that I want. I have an entire shot list and a schedule, and I know I'm going to get it done like that. But sometimes it's just freestyle. Yeah.
And when did... Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
Oh, ow.
Are those Turtle Beach?
What? Yeah.
Nice.
They're my sons.
Hell yeah. Fire.
Well, they were his, and then we thought they were broken, and we bought him new ones, and then these ones ended up as mine, and they're not, because they're not broken, so I don't know what was going on. I don't fucking know. I just needed headphones, so,
Yeah.
so I ended up with them. Do you find that, like, because like I have a very difficult time working from a script and working with a plan. Like most of my shit is actually just kind of improv, because that's just how I like to work. I go out with a very rough plan, and then I just kind of see where the world takes me. It sounds like you kind of do a mix of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Is there times when like you get frustrated because you wanted something to go a certain way and it doesn't, and then it actually ends up better than you expected?
Yeah, that's happened a lot, actually. Sometimes can be really anal. If I am in that mode where I have a schedule, a shot list, this and that, and then it didn't go my way, I can be a little bit frustrated during those moments. But more often, I've learned not to be, and just kind of let things flow a little bit more, because more often than not, it'll come out better, or something different happened, and I go, yo, you know what? I like this instead, or this works even better. So, you know, you as a creative have to be ready for those hijinks, or things to happen, and know how to act and take advantage. I know, right? Such a great word.
I'm gonna start using that. With Casey Neistat, going back to him, talks a lot about how like New York is just full of stories, and that there's like you can't go outside without a story smacking you in the face.
I love that quote from him.
Is that true for you?
I said that very same quote. I've actually put that quote in one of my videos. Oh yeah, that's absolutely true. And for me, I love Spider-Man. My bio literally says your friendly neighborhood filmmaker. So it's very much the Spider-Man, Peter Parker mentality is honestly just who I am. It's a part of me. Like, and I take pride in that with New Yorkers in New York City. Like, when I'm in public, I have no problem talking to somebody or getting to know the guy at the halal stand, here or there. I feel like, number one, that's better for me because it actually creates more community in New York. Like, there's been places I've gone or I've walked into a restaurant, people know me, recognize me. I may not have millions of followers, but I have community.
That's a sick feeling, though, isn't it?
It really is, it is. It's a really cool feeling. And you know what, like, the city is full of stories. And like I said earlier, you know how sometimes we get trapped in this cage of where we want the spotlight or we want to shine. Turning that off is really actually a privilege sometimes, because you get to tap into somebody else's story. It's cool to be a side character sometimes. Sometimes it's cool to be a cameo, because when you allow somebody else to kind of take that spotlight and be the main character for a second, you get to hone in on their story, hear a little bit of theirs, hear some of their experience. Listening is a very fundamental skill. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, and it's to listen. Listening to New Yorkers is awesome. Everybody has a cool story. Everybody.
I do believe that everybody has, like, even the most boring person has a cool story if they can figure out a way to articulate it. Like, almost, I've done a lot of interviews with a lot of people, and I've almost always found that if you are able to dig into somebody, like, there's gonna be something interested in there. If you can take the time. A lot of times it's just a time thing. Like, we're coming up on an hour now, and usually, like, the first hour of talking to somebody is, like, kind of your preset, you know what I mean? Like, these are the stories I know work, this is kind of like the conversation I'm used to having. And after that, shit starts to break down, and you kind of sort of get to where people are at. And I just an observation I've made over the years. I don't really know what I just fucking felt like throwing that out there, I guess. You talked about your dad having gone to Iraq, and it sounds like military man. It sounds like he's a fairly successful guy who built something cool. I'm not exactly sure what, but I'm curious. Was your family supportive of you wanting to be a filmmaker, wanting to be not only a filmmaker but a content creator, a YouTuber? Like, were they supportive? Were they happy? Were they sad? How did they feel about that?
Well, you know what? My father in particular, he's always been a dreamer. He is definitely the reason why I feel like he can do anything. That dude has done anything with his life. He was in the Air Force Army. He was in Special Intelligence in the CIA. Should probably cut that part out if you can. But he has owned a modeling agency. We own a skateboard company together. He's a doctor.
You own a skateboard company?
Yes, he's a doctor, teacher.
I like that. That's the thing I thought was the coolest. He's a doctor too.
Yeah, that's why I asked him that you skateboard. Yeah, he's a doctor.
Wait, what skateboard company do you own?
Combat Punk.
Oh, I don't know, but that's sick.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We're on the come up. And he's a teacher.
So do you skate then?
I used to, but injuries have really put me aside from it. But it still lives in my heart for sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you. What's your favorite skate video of all time?
Oh, I honestly wouldn't know.
It's different for you because you were internet. Like, when I was a kid, you had to get like a fucking VHS tape.
Yeah.
So like they didn't come out that often. Now there's fucking parts out every fucking day. Have you ever heard of the David Skate?
Yeah.
He's fucking
unbelievable.
He's insane. Unbelievable, dude. I fucking I saw a video of him doing a fucking Christ Air backflip on like a kicker. It was like on nothing. It was fucking crazy.
Dude.
And I was just like, I cannot believe how far skateboarding has come since I was a kid. That there are human beings that can do this Tony Hawk fucking pro skater
stuff
shit.
That took Tony Hawk his whole life, and there's 12-year-olds just doing it like it's light work now.
So fucking crazy, dude. I can't even look at shit because it's like when I was a little kid, I used to skateboard, right? And I fucking gave up skateboarding for a couple of years because I played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and I didn't understand that wasn't real. Like, I was a little kid and I didn't understand that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater is a video game that's people can't actually do that. Like, I thought, and when I was watching it, I was like, if people are doing this shit, there's no way I will ever be able to do this. So I might as well just give it up now. And then later on, I got back into it a little bit because obviously I realized the truth that that's not real. But now some of these people really are doing shit that is makes that you would see in fucking Tony Hawk. Yeah, literally. It's fucking crazy.
Dude, people do shit you see in Skate 3 all the time. It's
seriously.
What are you doing? But
did you see that dude who did the 90-foot drop in?
Yeah, I saw that.
Did a fucking 9-story tall drop in, I think. Was that what it was? It actually might have been higher than that. Hold on. I'm going to look it up just because I want to make sure that I got this right, and I want to give the guy's name.
What was that? That one was for
Red Bull.
Red Bull, right? Red Bull, yeah. Yeah, he had the head camera and everything.
Yeah.
Dude.
So I'm sorry, it was 230 feet.
Yeah, it was way higher. Yeah, 230, yeah.
It was by skateboarder Sandro Dias in Porto Alegre, Brazil.
Yeah.
418 fucking feet off the side of a building. Fucking crazy.
Dude, yeah, those Red Bull riders.
I can't.
I don't know how, the balance and to take in all the inertia is.
Dude, the speed. Imagine the fucking speed wobble on that.
Dude, that took some guts.
Yeah, dude, fuck that. There's
That
no
video
way
was a rush. I felt the rush just watching.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing, and they like live. They did a live stream of it. I watched the whole thing. It was crazy.
I
It was
watched it
fucking nuts.
live. Nice. But yeah, going back to your question, my parents weren't very supportive at first. My dad more so than my mom at first, but they were very traditional, and they wanted me to go to college and figure out what I wanted to do and this and that. And they were like, they didn't want me to be a bum essentially, but I think once they really saw me, going out to California and doing these, gigs for very, very real production companies, and they also saw the level of skill I had with just video making, I think it kind of shaped their perspective a little bit, and they did become very supportive. And today they're very supportive. They don't even care. Like, they know, and the thing about me is like, which scared them a lot, is like they knew no matter what they told me, I was gonna do what the fuck I wanted to do anyways. Like since a child I've been like that. Like and it's gotten me in a lot of trouble sometimes. Yeah. But I've always been in control of my own destiny. And a lot of people are scared to do that. So many people are connected to invisible chains, whether that be chains on the wrist and legs. People are held back by that, by the chains of what their family thinks, or their friends, or society. Those are not real barricades. Those are not real barriers. But it's so strong in the psyche that they feel real. And so many people are held back by that. But I'm lucky enough to have been strong enough not to let my parents or anybody hold me back from that. But also lucky enough to be at a point now where my parents support it absolutely 100%.
I say that like I was too stupid. I was so stupid I thought I could pull it off, and I was so sick that I actually did.
Did I? Wait, I like that.
That's the only way I can describe it.
I'm gonna write that down real quick. Say it again.
I was so stupid I thought I could pull it off, and I was so sick that I actually did.
I could pull it off, and I was so sick I actually did. Dude, that is an amazing quote. I'm gonna say that quote, and I'm gonna be reminded of that time, and I'm literally gonna shout you out when I hit 1 million followers.
Hell yeah! I appreciate that.
I
hope I beat you there. If I get there first, I'll shout you up.
Dude, okay, bet. Dude, honestly, whoever gets there first.
So as a modern filmmaker...
Wait. If you get there first, you have to say, be a better you than the you were yesterday.
Okay. Fucking, you got it. Hold on, let me write that down. I'm not going to write it, I'm going to talk to text it. Be a better you than you were yesterday. Alright, you got it. 1 million subscribers. You guys want to hear me say that again, because you just heard me say it now. But if you want to hear me say it a second time, make sure you subscribe.
Subscribe, guys.
I'm curious, as a modern filmmaker, we together are living in this weird time where vertical video is fucking taking over. Yeah, so you have the same reaction I do. So tell me a little bit about your thoughts on vertical video, and what do you think the future is going to hold for that?
I mean, I think vertical is cool and all, but... I mean...
Dude, you don't seem like you think that's cool.
I mean, in some ways, it's pretty interesting, you can do some creative stuff on vertical. Plus, I mean, it's necessary to learn how to do, because people are just swiping, scrolling all day. But you don't go to a theater and see a vertical fucking screen. You see it horizontal. Like this.
We don't see the world vertically either. It's like our eyes are set side by side for a reason.
Exactly.
They're not set like on top of each other for a reason. And so, yeah, I don't really get the vertical video other than. I'm fucking just as guilty of it as the next guy, but like it's really just laziness. It's like turning your phone this way and holding it like this is just kind of a pain in the ass. When you can't look at it like this, like I understand it mentally, but as a person who like one, I glorified growing up and fucking seeing the big screen and like seeing it wide like that. And so to adjust all of my concepts of framing and fucking how like cameras are supposed to look and everything, like it just doesn't look as good. And I don't think anybody's doing anything interesting with it really. Like it's very rare that you see someone actually utilize the vertical sort of camera orientation in a way that is new or exciting. You know what I mean?
I disagree with that. I think there's a lot of cool, especially there's a lot of content creators I see that they do real cool stuff with the vertical format. Especially with like the things you can do in After Effects and like transitions, and you can do cool stuff. But again, not ideal. For me, not ideal. Yes, you can do cool stuff with it. You really can, but I'm a filmmaker. I don't see myself as a content creator. Despite the fact that I am, I see it more as artistry. And cinema belongs in the horizontal realm.
What do you think about? Because the 3D, sort of like the next. I feel like the next frontier that we're going to be facing here is like the. Not 3D isn't even the right fucking term. What concept am I thinking of here? 360. Like the 360, like you're gonna put on goggles and you're gonna be in an environment. What do you think about that? Is that something you've played around with at all? Is that something you're thinking about?
Like VR?
VR is the word. Thank you.
I don't quite know how I feel about VR. I'm not the biggest fan of it, to be honest. But I don't know. I don't really have a huge opinion on it yet. I think. In regards to like what, like cinema, like.
Well, when 360 cameras first came out.
Oh, 360 cameras. I like 360 cameras.
Yeah, well, when they first came out, it was very exciting to me. The concept of like. You're going to be able to watch a video with a VR headset on, and you're going to be able to like follow my movie as if you're like living it. You know what I mean? And I thought it was actually going to get bigger, and I think that in the future it will be bigger. Like I don't think the technology was there yet.
Yeah.
But I'm curious if you've put any thought into that, or how you think that might affect things moving forward.
I actually haven't really thought about it in regards to cinema. That's actually pretty interesting now that you say it. I have thought about it a lot in terms of gaming. Like, I'm a really huge gamer, and actually, like, when I get bored, like, at the peak of my career, like, I plan on doing something in the gaming industry as well. Like, because like I said, don't want to limit what kind of paint I can put on my canvas. But VR is going to be so interesting when it comes to like gaming and now that you mention it, movies, because we're really going to be able to step in and kind of tap into it. I don't think the technology is ready yet, for sure. Apple came out with their Apple Vision Pro, and that was pretty cool. I can edit with that, and my whole world kind of becomes augmented reality. But I don't know. I kind of like being in reality at the same time. I don't know.
I do too.
I
kind of like so. I don't do so. Like the reason that I make movies and the reason that I make videos and the reason I shoot this stuff is like more because the camera opens a door that you don't normally get to open.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't carry a camera around, like if you have a camera in your hand, you can pretty much do whatever you want. You just kind of like point to the camera and you're like, and then everybody's like, oh, okay. Like they don't, you know what I mean? Like you can just walk through doors and shit. Like nobody tries to stop you. It's crazy. And so a lot of times I use a camera as a way to capture things and new experiences and like live in the real world. And then create something that other people can experience that thing that they weren't there for. And so that's sort of my issue with AI.
Dude.
Is that like I think about the movie, the movie Fitzcarraldo it's about a ship that they had to carry over a mountain and they had to take it apart. It's a Werner Herzog film.
I've actually never watched it.
So it's basically the movie itself actually wasn't that popular, but the documentary about it became even more popular than the actual movie because they literally had to take this ship and pull it apart and carry it over a fucking mountain and then put it back together.
Interesting.
Some Fitzcarraldo.
Wow.
And so like they actually had to go out and they actually had to do this fucking thing. With CGI and now AI, that experience is gone. Like nobody will ever have to do that again. And I feel as though we're losing something more than we're gaining by having that happen.
I agree very much. I mean, AI, to start positively about it, it's a very fundamental tool. And I was waiting till our conversation became about this.
Sorry.
No.
Didn't avoid it.
No, I was waiting for it. I knew it was going to come up. It's very fundamental, and I think it's going to give us a lot of breakthroughs in all kinds of industries, in medical and science, and I mean, and in regards to like art, I mean, it kind of allows people to do things easier without all the work. But I don't know, I like the work, you know, and I think taking those parts of the craft away, it's detrimental in a lot of ways, you know. People, and it doesn't have the kind of taste and flavor that it would if a human being, you know, made that or did it. And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't use AI. I mean, I do. At this point, it's inescapable.
You can't even help it.
Yeah, I mean,
you use it on accident when you Google something.
Yeah. I mean, it's in Instagram, you know, Meta AI and this and that, and like it's in everything now. But I do think in some ways it's kind of destroying creativity. Like you said, like practical effects and, you know, things like, I've never seen that movie, but to think how much skill and how much problem solving it must have took for everybody on that set to physically take apart the ship and put it back together. I mean, come on, dude.
It's a good movie. You should check it out. And
Yeah,
the
definitely
documentary
will.
is very interesting. It's just about how they made it. But I go back and forth about this a lot because on the one hand, I hate AI because, like, I shouldn't say I hate AI. I'm ambivalent toward AI. Like, I don't really care. I hate that when I scroll through my phone when I'm looking for things, like I have to now deal with this AI garbage that people are putting out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that. But I'm not afraid of AI because AI can never replace the human in the creative space. And if it ever can, like if it can ever gain sentience and create something from the robot perspective, like we have way fucking bigger problems to deal with. You know what I mean? Like now we got to deal with like, does this thing have rights? You know what I mean? Like, is this a person? Like, there's way bigger problems and way bigger things that we'll have to deal with than whether or not it can create better art than me. I just don't see the appeal of someone who wants to create something offloading that to a robot. I guess is what I don't understand. A fucking clanker. I don't get it, and I don't understand
Fucking clankers.
sort of why you would want to do that, I guess. And I didn't know if you had any insight into that, because I feel like you're probably more in that space because you are a younger person and you're dealing with probably that on a different level than I am.
I mean, yeah, dude, it sucks in a lot of ways. Like, I feel like I mean, I have very good skills when it comes to animating and creating and drawing, and like I'm a pretty good animator. And actually, like, one of the reasons why I got into animating is because one day I planned on using those skills to make a Spider-Man fan film, putting that out in the universe, guys. Yeah, I want to do that, and like for programs like Blender or Nuke, you know, to get those swings and things like that, you need those types of programs. But now it's becoming this thing. Even just the simple animations I do, it can just be made with a prompt, and it's in ways it's frustrating for me because it's like, especially because a lot of this stuff is going viral, this AI slop, and it's like, well, I'm actually like making this shit by hand, frame by frame, and like drawing it or like and putting it in the computer and processing it. Isn't that way cooler that it came from somebody? Like,
It is way cooler. I don't think anyone would argue it's not.
you know, but some people are like, well, dude, like I can make that shit way easier. Like, why would I spend all that time? And it's just like, I don't know. Like, at the same time, I'm like, why would you spend all that time? But at the same time, then I look at going back to the Spider-Man perspective. You know, in the new movies, you know, they look good, right? But I can tell they're heavily using so much CGI and AI to see, like, you know, do Dr. Octopus's arms or whatever. But in the original Spider-Man 2, those arms were real. And it looks way more real. Because they actually use practical effects, practical stuff. I mean, who cares if you got to put extra work? It makes it so much cooler.
The thing that fucks me up is with CGI is like, CGI is great, and I can remember the first time I saw CGI and being like, holy fuck. Like, it seemed impossible that was real. It fucking blew my mind. But now you see actors acting on like a fully green screen background, wearing green screen suits, and it's just like, what, like, are we losing something in that? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's that story about fucking, isn't the guy who played Gandalf, he fucking was like crying? Like, just breaking down and crying in the middle of his fucking role because he was having to do it against green screen? Like, fuck that, dude.
I mean, it's gotta, like, I don't know.
Alright, we're gonna do two new things. I've never done this before. You're gonna be my guinea pig on this.
Okay, cool.
So I fucking found this stupid game called Hot Seat.
Hot Seat.
And it just has random questions in it, and I just love the idea of pulling out a random question. This could either go bad or it could go good.
Okay, it's like rapid fire.
Yeah, we're gonna ask. Let's do 5. We'll do 5, and you can take as much time as you want, and I'll just ask I'll ask another question.
Okay, I'm ready.
When you look in the mirror, what do you see?
I see who I am, my character, and my actions. So when my actions are aligning with who I want to be, sometimes that image isn't always so great, but sometimes it's really great.
Good answer. Let me ask you this. This just brought something up. As like an online personality, do you struggle with like, this is the real me, and
No.
this is the social media me?
No. Oh, yeah, sometimes I did, because sometimes, I mean, I naturally am a very happy, positive person, and I do post a lot of positive content online. But, I mean, a lot of my life can be extremely miserable. But I found the balance of that. I like, actually, whether it's cringe or not to people, whenever miserable, bad stuff happens to me, I make sure to show that and like talk about it on my Instagram. I'll post a long paragraph of how I'm feeling, because that's important. You know, that is very important. I feel like, because people get this perspective of me, I notice, or they think I have this like perfect life or this and that. I don't want them to think that. I want them to know that they can watch my content, be inspired, knowing that I have come from struggle. You know, because somebody else might be struggling or dealing with certain issues, and if they just think that all of this was just handed to me or given to me on a silver platter, or that I'm just this way all the time, or I don't deal with any problems, maybe they can't relate to me as much. So I try to be as real as possible, even though I'm positive, to you know, be real with the camera so that they can feel I can be relatable in a sense, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Hang on, give me 1 second.
Okay.
So I'm here with a friend.
Oh, I was like, some stranger just came up to you like, oh my god, are you Ben Hardy?
No.
All right, question number 2. We're almost done. I'm sorry to take up so much of your time.
No worries.
What is your favorite holiday tradition?
Oh, Definitely Christmas doing. I mean, this is kind of basic, but doing the Christmas tree.
That's nice though.
Yeah.
Is there like a tradition around that with like your family, or do you do it by yourself? Like.
Yeah, definitely with my family. I mean, my mom, she's excellent at decorating Christmas trees. Like, if you think you can compete with my mom, you can't. Like, her Christmas trees should be in the Macy's Christmas magazines. Like, she chooses a new theme every year, and that just sets the tone for like how the whole house is going to be. And it's just so cool, like doing the new themes and seeing her artistic expression being put on a tree. You know.
That's sick.
Yeah.
What do you want more than anyone else in the room?
I guess a success in a way. Like, I think I want that more than anybody in the room. To keep it simple.
What will happen? What is the largest change that will happen to me in the next 5 years?
To me?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sorry, they're written in the third person. I'm trying to remember to convert them back to you. But yeah. What is the biggest change you think will happen to you in the next 5 years?
I have a lot of friends who are famous. I ask them for advice all the time for, just my career. And I hope, I'll be able to deal with that. But I think my privacy will change a lot. My income will change a lot. That's a good thing. I think relationships and people around me will change. But you know what? I'm ready for that. I'm ready for all of that. Well, I won't say I'm ready for all of it, but I'm ready for the challenge that will be.
All right, last question. If you could recommend one book, movie, and album to somebody, what is it? What are those things?
This is a great question. Oh my god. One book, one movie, one album? Holy crap. Okay, for one book, I would definitely recommend The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin. That's a phenomenal book. Movie, wow. That's so hard. I love so many movies. Let me look on my letterbox real quick.
All right.
Let's see. I have like a diary of all my movies.
What do you do with that? Do you just like use it for inspiration? Do you?
Oh, I watch them and I rate them and review them on this app. Honestly, this is a random one, but I would really recommend King Richard. It's a movie about the tennis players Serena and Venus Williams. That's a phenomenal.
Documentary?
No, it's like a biography essentially.
What's it called?
King Richard. That's actually the movie.
I'm gonna download it right now.
That's actually the movie that Will Smith won an Oscar for when he slapped Chris Rock.
Got you.
So
it was kind of like over. It was kind of kind of overshadowed by the action.
Literally, which is so sad. It was a disgrace, honestly, because that movie was so phenomenal, so inspirational.
It's only $4.99 on Apple TV right now.
Oh, nice. I think it's free on HBO Max. If you have
I don't have HBO Max.
Oh, okay. An album.
And last one, album.
Ooh, album. Ooh, that's so hard. That's the pressure there. Dude, I love so many albums. Holy shit. Okay, maybe. Hang on.
And then on 24, I guess there's also something
Honestly, should I say that? No, I shouldn't.
Say it,
dude. No, I'm gonna choose a Kanye album.
A Kanye album?
Yeah.
I fucking knew. I knew as soon as you were like, I don't know if I should say it.
No. Actually, when I said I don't know if I should say it, was actually Thriller by Michael Jackson.
I mean,
I was like, that seems pretty basic.
Equally as controversial, though.
Nah, Michael Jackson didn't do that shit. He didn't do that shit.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah, my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West. I'll say that's a great album.
I've never heard it, but I'll check it out this week.
What? Never heard that album.
I was never into Kanye. I didn't really like Kanye.
Oh my God! Listen to "Devil in a New Dress." That's the first one you should listen to.
Yeah, I never really got into Kanye. He was very popular, like right when I was in that time, but I was like into hardcore and punk rock, so that was kind of where I was
Don't even
at
get me started on that.
at the time. So, well, you live in New York, so you have all like the greatest, or a lot of the greatest hardcore bands of all time living there. So, all right. So last but not least, where can people find you?
Like online.
Yeah, like where can people follow you? Where do you want to send people to?
You guys can follow me at Ben Hardy HQ on my Instagram. That has pretty much everything I do, every spectrum of what I am, who I am. Ben Hardy YT, no spaces on YouTube. And yeah, that's it, guys. Say there.
Guys, do me a favor. Go follow him. I swear to God, this dude is an up-and-comer. You're going to want to get on this ride early because it's only going to get fucking harder and harder from here on out.
Yes.
Ben, thank you so much for doing this with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And yeah, dude, you're welcome back anytime. And so that's it, guys. Mwah. I love you. And we're going to shut this recording off and stop.